Hi, I'm Chef Beth, and this is Nutrition in the Kitchen. Today we are going to talk about picky eating. I could talk for days about picky eaters. Picky eating is probably the #1 food issue that parents need help solving. How can you tell if your child has garden variety picky eating or a more serious issue that needs attention? First, realize that almost all children go through a picky phase or have some degree of pickiness. So do adults. Just think about how you might order your coffee in the morning. I like my latte extra hot with 1 raw sugar and no foam. You probably have your favorite way of ordering. Think about how you like your toast or bagel, lightly toasted, dark, with cream cheese or butter. The point is that we all do have preferences, and you can definitely honor those favorites up to a point. Many children are not necessarily picky. They may just be less adventurous or a little suspicious of new foods. These are the easy cases. For these children, just keep offering foods over and over again and try not to get very bothered when foods are rejected. An important point is that you cannot force a picky eater to become more adventurous, and forcing is not going to do you or your child any favors. In fact, it will probably result in tears at the table and tantrums and frustration on both sides. For very young children, though they can be stubborn, pickiness also becomes a vicious circle. The parent worries that they are not eating enough, so the parents start serving only those foods they know the child will eat well. Then the child becomes even more unwilling to try new foods. The solution for these very young children is for the parent to decide what is served. Learn more about this in the first part of our 3-part feeding framework series. A 1 or 2-year-old should not be determining what brand of cereal you purchase at the store. Other times, the parent complains that the child only eats 4 foods. Maybe they eat mac and cheese, bread, pizza, and chicken tenders. But when I really start asking the child and go down a list of many foods, there are quite a few that the child does eat. It's the same fix. Serve many different foods. Sometimes it's the child's favorite and sometimes not. Again, go back to the feeding jobs. Your job as a parent is to put a good meal or snack on the table. Worry less about which foods the child chooses. So here are 5 easy tips to feed your picky eater. #1, ride the picky stage out, because often as children get older, they will start trying new foods. It may take them a lot of time and they may not be super eager to do so, but generally as kids get older, they do become a little bit more flexible in their food choices. #2, choose restaurants of all types. Don't just go to the restaurant that you know serves your child's favorite on the kids menu. If the child is hungry and you're at a restaurant that doesn't have their favorite, they will have to adapt. #3, think about parties and events and get-togethers. Don't call the host up to ask exactly what will be served. Most kids will be able to adapt to something that's on the menu based on those choices available. I worked with a family recently who always brought peanut butter sandwiches to every event, but the child will never branch out because they always have their fallback right there. #4, when you serve a new food, serve it alongside an old favorite. That way the child doesn't come to the table automatically suspicious and automatically ready to fight. Lastly, don't force your picky eater to swallow a new food. You might instead ask if they want to kiss the food with their lips, maybe smell the food, or describe it. I don't believe that forcing the child to take a bite is going to lead to a positive outcome. Having said all this, let's turn to those children who are more extreme than your average picky eater. Perhaps they have a sensory issue or an underlying medical condition making it hard for them to handle certain textures or foods. I suggest working closely with your pediatrician to determine whether your child has normal pickiness versus a more serious issue that needs to be addressed. If your intuition is telling you that something more serious is going on, make sure to consult with your pediatrician. To sum up, be patient and consistent with your picky eater. Keep offering those rejected foods, but do not force your child to try them. I'm Chef Beth. See you next time on Nutrition in the Kitchen.